Hey guys, welcome back. It's Redox here. Thanks again for joining me here today, and I'm going to show you guys a couple of matches where I highlight the importance of securing launch pads and microing your units effectively that will win you games if done right. So I'm going to go straight into attack bikes. He's going to go straight into the laser troopers, and we're actually going to end up scouting each other's Tiberium crystal patch, thinking we may be able to snipe each other's harvesters, but none of us starts off with a harvester early on. And fortunately for him, his laser troopers will actually counter my attack bikes. As I try to move my attack bikes around, I try to deal some damage onto this harvester, and I move my second attack bike down as well, but he's got a nice surround, and his laser troopers just do too much damage on my attack bikes, taking out the first one. And my second attack bike will be taken care of here as well by his laser troopers, while I build a delayed harvester myself, and I start mining for crystals. I go right into the militants, as militants are an effective counter to laser troopers, and he's moving his laser troopers around to my side, trying to take out some of my units, and also perhaps dealing with my harvester. And 3 lasers on one level 3 harvester, that's going to do an incredible amount of damage, and I have to micro away my harvester just in the nick of time. They're saving me that harvester, and if he got the harvester this early in that game, in this game, it could have been a huge difference as to who would win the game or the outcome. I send out one attack bike in the middle, dealing with his weakened harvester, giving me some free crystals, and I move that attack bike right up to the north. I'm going to slow the game match right here. He sends a Banshee to destroy my weakened harvester, but I send his mistake on this part was not securing the launch pad. And securing launch pads are very important. They will cost you games if you don't, because all I need now at this point is to secure the second missile and I win the game. He should have moved. If I was him, I would have moved the Banshee up north, taking that, trying to secure that first missile here, because you really, whenever the missile is very close to being finished, you really want to try to secure that. But instead, he decided to go for a harvester, which I think was a mistake on his part. I go for a questionable Obelisk of Light here. This is my mistake. This was a complete waste of crystals, because they don't do anything against Banshees, and they don't do that much damage against infantry units as well. He goes for massed chemical warriors and Banshees, and again, he's going for my harvester here. I go for some laser troopers because I do not want to lose this second harvester, and my laser troopers do stop them, and I see that he's got so many chemical warriors on the field. I've got to go for a flame tank, and the flame tank will effectively deal with these chemical warriors, and he actually snipes my second harvester as well. Now, once again, notice how the missile is very close to being built here, and I almost capture it. I move my laser squad on the bottom, I leave my flame tank on the top. I don't care if they take that much damage against Banshees. Look at how close I am to being able to steal that missile, but his chemical warrior walked right on time onto that southern launch pad. I move my attack bike up north, trying to secure that launch pad on the top, on the northern side, but it dies. My laser squad actually dies, and he actually takes the second missile, and that was good on his part. So if he had not once again concentrated on taking those launch pad with his units, he would have lost that game at this point, because all I needed was one missile and it would have been over for him. And I'm going to go for Cyborg because he's got a Basilisk and he has 3 Banshees. So what is the best unit against these kind of air units? Of course, laser squads or cyborgs, any units that do an incredible amount of damage to air units. I go for another questionable Obelisk of Light. You never want to build it right in front of a flame tank, because flame tanks do a crap ton of damage to buildings, and that is a terrible idea. So once again, I wasted my crystals on that, and he goes straight from a harvester, which again I think is kind of a question. It's not, I guess it's an okay strategy, but I would be trying to secure that missile if I was him, because he had effective control of the map at this point. He had a flame tank, 2 Banshees, he's got a Basilisk, and they can deal with that, all my units at this point. And that Catalyst missile he goes for was questionable as well. He should have shot that on the Tiberium crystal patch, so it would have blown up a couple of my laser troopers as well. Now I'm going to slow down here. My attack bike is on the south, and look at that. He did not move his flame tank, or he did not micro away his Banshees fast enough onto that northern launch pad, costing him that second missile. When that missile is very close to finishing, you really, really want to secure it. That is the whole point. Alright guys, game number 2. This time I'll be playing against the GDI opponent where he brings in Colonel Jackson. My army composition is pretty much the same Commander Kane, and in this game I also go right into the attack bike. I love this attack bike opening with Nod because they're so fast, and I can scout what my enemy has, and sometimes I can take out their harvester if they don't have the sufficient defense, and I go straight for his harvesters. He goes right into his missile troopers, of course. Now if I was him, I would want to try to run away with the harvester, and that's exactly what he does, and I do take it out with my attack bike, which was good on my part. And I leave my attack bikes on the launch pad trying to, you know, secure it, but I know he's got a whole bunch of missile troopers trying to defend his harvesters and trying to counter my attack bikes with these missile troopers. I go for my harvester at this point. I go for some militants because militants, although his militant level is 1 level higher than me, I can still deal a lot of damage against his missile troopers with the militants. And he goes for double harvesters, and I'm not really sure if he does have that or not, because I think at this point I do see his second harvester with my militant, because militants are also great scouting units. I get the first missile here. See, once again, I move away my attack bike. The only reason I wanted to leave my attack bike down on south was to secure that first missile. So I got the first missile on him. I'm telling you guys, you really want to secure that missile as much as you can, and it's a mistake a lot of newer players make. They don't really focus on the launch pads too much, and then before they know it, they lose the game. Because all I have to do now is to secure the second launch pad and I win. He's got a whole bunch of infantry units, and I see this. I don't see him building anything else. He's got double harvesters, so I know he's trying to go for some expensive tech lab units. My flame tank will pretty much crush everything, and he does indeed go for an expensive Titan, which pretty much demolishes my flame tank. So I'm trying to microwave my flame tank as best as I can. I go for a Basilisk because Basilisks are great against Titans. They're an air unit. The Titan can't fight back. He's got both of the missile launch pad here. I'm gonna kind of slow it down here. Okay, so the missile is almost done. Oh, actually, not this part yet, guys. He's actually gonna move his Titan down, kill my harvester there. But the missile is getting close to being finished. Now he's got a zone trooper, and the zone trooper will pretty much demolish my Basilisk, as it's also level 9. But I'm focus firing that zone trooper. But my whole point right now is to try to secure this missile. If you see on the bottom, his Titan is trying to get onto that launch pad. But look at how my microing is with my faster militant unit. I blocked the tiles on him, and pretty much I secure that second missile, winning the game. That's what you want to do. When somebody brings out an expensive, epic, slower moving unit like the Titan or Zone Trooper, and the missile's almost building, and you have somebody that's a lot faster at moving on the tile, you can do something like you can block the tile by moving your, let's say your militant that's quicker than a Titan, by moving it back and forth onto that tile, and then when the missile launches, you win the game. Because if the enemy unit is not on the launch pad, they can't secure that missile, and that is what I did in this match. Alright guys, this is the third game. Again, it's going to be against the GDI opponent with General Solomon this time. And one thing I like to always do against General Solomons is go for attack bikes. And I do this a lot against not even just General Solomons, but any player that really uses GDI faction, because a lot of GDI players tend to bring in a lot of expensive tech lab units, and you know, I know they're not going to try to they usually bring in, you know, 2 or 3 cheap units earlier on in the game, and a lot of them do get surprised by attack bikes earlier on. I do take out his first harvester in this game as well. The jump jet troopers are a great counter to attack bikes. They're fast moving, and they do a lot of damage on vehicles. He goes for a second harvester, but I got 300 crystals there. That was good for me. I go for some militants because now I know what he could possibly do on me. He might be able to move those jump jet troopers and take out my harvester, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So I'm trying to run with my militants as fast as I can to deal with those jump jet troopers while securing that southern launch pad, because I'm also keeping in mind that I want to secure the missiles. I micro away my harvesters as best as I can here. All of his infantry units are higher level than my infantry units, so I won't be winning a straight up fight. Like, my militant is level 7, his rifleman's level 9. There's no way my level 7 is going to defeat a 2 level higher militant. And his jump jet trooper is also level 8, so I have to really micro my militants as best as I can here to deal with it, because a level 8 jump jet trooper, look at how much damage he does, and he's almost brought down my jump jet trooper, but just in time I deal with that. And once again, I secure the first launch pad. he was so focused on trying to take out my harvester there, he did not really. I mean, I guess he thought he had somebody on the southern launch pad, but he was so focused on microing his jump jet trooper to take out my harvester, he did not get that first missile, and that was his mistake. I built flame troopers, and then to deal with his strong shockwave troopers, I see an orca bomber, so I've got to build attack bikes to deal with these attack bombers, as it will destroy my flame tank. And he's bringing out 2 jump jet troopers again, or sorry, just 1 jump jet trooper. And I sent out 2 attack bikes to deal with his harvester, because I wanted some extra crystals, slow down his economy, because I get a feeling that he's got a lot of expensive tech lab units that I don't want to deal with. I built 1 obelisk of light on the top to deal with that northern launch pad, and I built another flame tank, and he decides to go for my harvester here again. Takes out my harvester, I deal with his jump jet troopers with my flame tank, and I effectively control the northern launch pad there with my obelisk of light. And I'm pretty much getting the second launch pad here. I'm trying to get the second launch pad here once again. He goes for an ion cannon trying to take me out. I'm going to slow it down. He almost gets, actually I almost get this second missile here, but my basilisk moves just in time. Sorry, I'm going to speed it up a little bit here. My basilisk moves onto a launch pad just in time to the northern one, and then onto the southern one, I move my flame tank, and I move my weakened attack bike. And as he tries to jump over my vehicles there with his jump jet troopers, he cannot secure that second launch pad. So securing these launch pads are so important, and they get more important as you climb up higher in the ladder. You really want to focus on capturing those launch pads as best as you can. All you have to do is really when you see that missile bar going red or blue, and it's 80 to 90% done, you really want to try to secure it. You know, if your opponent goes for your harvesters, let them kill your harvesters, whatever, it's not a big deal. Alright guys, so once again, I just want to emphasize the importance of securing launch pads and microing your units properly. That will secure you victories, or that may cost you games if you don't focus on these important factors. So make sure you always have these things in mind. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.